All right, so we'll begin today with a meditation on transformation through the body. All right. When we come to practice, many of us imagine that awakening is about transcending the body, going beyond the body, right? Escaping into some higher state, free from this flesh that sweats, aches, hungers, and eventually dies. And in fact, much of the history of religion has carried that thread, a deep-seated suspicion of the body, a belief that the body is sinful, weak, or at least it's an obstacle to what's sacred. All right, but the Buddha teaches us something very different. For 6 years, he tried the path of denial. He tried starving himself, punishing his body. He sought to seek release through sheer force of his asceticism. All right, and it didn't work. Only when he gave up that fight, only when he accepted food and allowed the body to be nourished did awakening come. The middle way was born. Not indulgence, not denial, but really a different kind of intimacy with life, beginning right here in this body. The body isn't the enemy of practice. The body is actually the gateway. The Buddha pointed us again and again and again back to the body as the first foundation of mindfulness. All right, breathing in, know you're breathing in. Walking, know that you're walking. Sitting, know the weight of the body on the earth. The body is where impermanence reveals itself most clearly. This ache, that itch, this rise and fall of the breath. The body is also where craving shows itself, that inner unconscious impulse that says things should be different than they are. Right? The reaction of wanting, right, what's not and not wanting what is. We're always habitually grasping after what is pleasant, shrinking away and pushing away what's unpleasant. In this way, the body is not just a vehicle for practice. The body is actually our field of practice. The ancient texts speak of the body as a field, a ground where wisdom is cultivating. Right? The truth of dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, shows itself right here. No matter how much we cling to our youth, vitality, strength, the body changes. Then there's the truth of anicca, which is impermanence. All right? It shows itself here in the body. Every breath, every sensation arises and passes away. Right? There's also the truth of anatta, which means not self, which shows itself right here. When you look closely, the body isn't me or mine. The body is an example of the flowing process of elements, borrowed elements, all right, that will return to the world. And yet, within this impermanence, within this fragility, right, lies the doorway to freedom. The more that we fully enter the body, not in thought, but in direct felt experience, the more the mind grows quiet. All right, the stories, the judgments, the old conditioning, like non-forgiveness, like reaction, they begin to loosen. Awareness opens. The body is no longer just flesh and bone, but a living, temple of presence. So when a difficulty arises, like fear, grief, anger, grievance, right? The invitation isn't to automatically push it away. It's also not to rise above it, but to actually turn toward what's difficult. Right? Turn toward the body. Where is it felt? Where is that reactivity felt in the body? Where is that non-forgiveness experienced in the body? Where's that reactivity, that anger experienced in the body? What is its texture? What's its temperature? What's its rhythm? So to stay close to the body is to stay close to truth. And when we stay close to truth, transformation begins to just happen on its own. This is why the Buddha taught that in this very fathom-long body, endowed with perception and mind, lies the path to liberation. Nothing outside of us is required. No special trance, no escape, just this body, this breath, this moment. So our practice is simple, though it's definitely not always easy. Right? We'll sit together and turn attention inward. We'll feel the body not as an obstacle, but as the path itself. We'll explore the places where there's tension, restlessness, or even resistance. And instead of fleeing what's unpleasant, we'll practice learning to just stay, to breathe, to soften, and to listen. All right? In this way, the body becomes not a prison, but the body is our actual teacher. Not something to transcend, but something to awaken through. So, let's begin. By just settling into your posture. Settle into a posture that feels balanced. Relaxed but alert. Definitely not stiff. Allow the hands to just rest easily. Invite the eyes to gently, softly close, or if you want to keep them open, just have a soft, unfocused gaze. Take a slow breath in, and then release. And again, a gentle breath in, and then release. Let the breath now find its own rhythm. Steady, natural. Just allow the body to breathe itself. Just notice the body breathing. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. Bring awareness to the body, sitting here. Bring awareness to the weight pressing into the chair. Bring awareness to the touch of clothing on skin. Bring awareness to the feel of air on exposed skin. Notice the pull of gravity that's grounding you into the earth. Now, just feel into the simple truth. You're here in body, breathing. And just be with that for a few seconds. Now, turn your awareness to the breath itself. Notice the rise and fall of the belly. Notice the chest and belly gently expanding and then releasing. No need to shape the breath. Practice just receiving the breath. The body breathing itself. And as you rest with the breath, begin to notice the field of sensations, the flow of sensations throughout the body. Notice warmth or coolness. Notice tingling, pulsing, vibration. Perhaps there's heaviness in one place. Maybe there's a lightness in another place. The body is always alive with constant change if we take the time to notice. Notice how some sensations in the body feel pleasant. The warmth of hands, the softness of clothing. Notice also how other sensations may feel unpleasant. Perhaps a tightness in the shoulders and an ache in the back. And notice, be curious about what instinctively happens. Notice how the mind leans into and toward what is pleasant. Notice how the mind wants to keep it. But just as important, notice how the mind instinctively leans away from what's unpleasant. How the mind resists. How the mind wants to get rid of what's unpleasant. This is natural. It's just part of being human. It's the push and pull. It's the energy of push and pull. Some people use words like pushing away is aversion, grabbing onto and pulling toward is greed. Right? It's just the push and pull of wanting and not wanting. Just spend a few seconds just exploring this. No judgment, no comparison, just be curious. See if you can meet this deeply instinctual habit with curiosity. Instead of the mind chasing after what's pleasant or fighting against the unpleasant, simply notice. This is how it feels right now in this moment. This is how it is. Pleasure, pain, both arising and passing away. All right, it's like you're standing on the shore, watching waves gently roll in and back out. Okay, some gentle, some rough, all of which are dissolving back into the sea. You may notice how attention contracts around a single sensation. An ache in the knee, a sound of a trash truck, a dog barking, a pleasant tingle in the chest. Just notice when this happens. Notice how attention contracts in, and then gently expand your attention out again. Again and again and again. Just open to the whole body sitting here. Feel the breath moving through the entire body. A single field of awareness. Nothing to change, nothing to fix. Just allowing. Allowing every sensation to come. Allowing it to be. And when it's ready, just allowing it to go on its own. Your job is to simply not interfere. over and over and over again, the practice is the same. Notice when attention and awareness has narrowed and contracted. Recognize the pull toward or away, and then soften, expand back out to the whole body. Again and again and again. You're practicing non-reaction through the body. And this practice of non-reaction translates out to how we speak, how we act, how we be in the world. Whether you're talking, driving, working, interacting, the practice of non-reaction is the same. Just think of it like you're constantly zooming out. Instead of staring at one tree, you see the whole forest. Instead of clinging to one note, you hear the whole symphony. The wider awareness holds both what is pleasant and unpleasant without struggle. Yeah. The practice of non-reaction to pleasant, unpleasant in the body translates perhaps in time to not reacting when a person says something or does something. This is the practice of inner freedom. And you're in your own control, not in someone else's. So when emotions arise, fear, sadness, irritation, agreements, anger, your task is to simply notice them as body sensations. A flutter in the chest, a heaviness in the belly, a tightness in the throat. Allow them to just be waves of sensation. They're not problems to solve. And you meet them all with the same open curiosity. How does this feel right now? What is my relationship with what it is I'm experiencing? And then be curious. And the more that you practice resting this way, the more that the body reveals its wisdom. Impermanence shows itself. Everything shifting, nothing fixed. The pushing and pulling slowly quietens, slowly loosens. Awareness grows more spacious, more steady, and you start to feel more at peace, being able to respond with wisdom rather than to react out of greed or aversion. So, for these last few minutes, simply rest, continually spreading your awareness throughout the body, being open, being curious, breath moving in and out, sensations arising and dissolving, awareness wide and inclusive, nothing to fix, nothing to escape, just this living, breathing body, here, now. And when you're ready, begin to slowly deepen the breath. Fill the body once again in this space, in this room. Slowly wiggle your fingers and toes and take a moment to just express gratitude for yourself for practicing